Go fruit yourself.
More than 500 million eggs have been recalled on fears of salmonella infection. Food and Drug Administration officials say the outbreak has sickened more than 1,000 people, and the toll of illnesses is expected to go even higher.
Dr. Yoon, we've heard for so long that eggs are such a healthy choice for a balanced diet. So what do you make of these findings?
Well, I think it's fascinating. I mean, are eggs the new cigarette? And this study does seem to show that there are some major negative effects on atherosclerosis. Now, the important part of this is that atherosclerosis is a major risk determiner in strokes and heart disease. And it's not even, the study doesn't even look at people who eat lots of eggs, but it's just 3-4 eggs a week.
And what is the atherosclerosis that you're talking about? Tell us about that.
Atherosclerosis is hardening of the arteries, and what they specifically looked at is the hardening of the carotid artery, which is the main artery of the neck. When you get hardening of that artery and plaques that develop around it, that's atherosclerosis. Those plaques can actually dislodge, and that's how people get strokes.
So what do you think?
Hey everybody, it's Really the Banana Girl here. Welcome to another episode. Oh, we got 2 spins today, and they were very nice. Maybe I should do the spins in the chair from now on because I can't do them standing up. Alright, so today's video is about eggs. It's about the egg industry, it's about whether eggs are healthy for you or not, it's about whether they're ethical. I've basically just got all the most amazing information on eggs, all the latest research, and condensed it into this video. Okay, it's a huge learning tool. I just want you to be able to make conscious choices when you go to eat, to be informed. So make sure you grab your banana smoothie or your Datorade and really just absorb all this information, because 220 million eggs are consumed by Americans every single day, and on a smaller scale Australians and the rest of the world, but 220 million eggs. So it's a huge thing, over 1 billion eggs a week. So we need to be informed about that product that we're purchasing and whether it's healthy for us and whether it's ethical. Let's find out.
As I noted last year, the Harvard Nurses' Health Study found that the daily consumption of the amount of cholesterol found in just a single egg appeared to cut a woman's life short as much as smoking 25,000 cigarettes, 5 cigarettes a day for 15 years. Following up on that research, a study in the journal Atherosclerosis found that just 3 eggs or more a week was associated with a significant increase in artery-clogging plaque buildup in people's carotid arteries going to their brain, a strong predictor of stroke, heart attack, and death.
But how much dietary cholesterol is in just like 1 egg? A single egg yolk contains approximately 215 milligrams to 275 milligrams of cholesterol, depending on the size. The yolk of a large egg provides more than the 210 milligrams of cholesterol in a Hardee's Monster Thick Burger, which contains 2/3 of a pound of beef, 3 slices of cheese, and 4 strips of bacon.
Wow, that's a huge amount of cholesterol in just a single egg. I was actually shocked to find out that eggs have 8 times more cholesterol than beef, which is a cow, by the way. That's a ton of cholesterol that you do not need pumping through your arteries. We actually don't need to intake any extra cholesterol because our body produces it. But we're having all this animal protein, this animal saturated fat, and it's creating this cholesterol problem within our bodies. So what does saturated fat and cholesterol look like in the blood? Well, check this out.
Now, normally, this liquid layer floating on top of the blood clot is quite transparent. It's a yellow, but quite clear. You can see right through it. The blood in this patient's tube, however, was anything but clear. The serum floating on his clot was thick and greasy white. It looked like glue. In fact, it stuck to the sides of the blood tube when I shook the tube. I went back to the patient. I said, "Mr. Phillips, did you eat before you came to the hospital tonight?" He said, "Yes." I said, "What did you have?" He said, "I had a cheeseburger and a milkshake." And when he said that, I realized that what I was looking at in his tube was all the fat in the beef burger, all the butter fat in the cheese, and the butter fat in the ice cream and in the milkshake. And all this fat had oozed out into his blood and actually turned his blood fatty. The next morning, we took Mr. Phillips to the operating room, and I put him to sleep, and the surgeon opened up his chest. And from these arteries, he began pulling out yellow, greasy deposits of fatty material called atherosclerosis.
This is a beautiful example of what atherosclerosis looks like. There it is. And I'm going to just gently tug on this now. There it is. America's #1 killer right there before your eyes.
So I'm sure we'll all agree that was absolutely frightening. No one ever wants to be in that position. Do you want to join the millions of other people around the world suffering from heart disease, cardiovascular problems, just because you want to continue eating these high saturated fat, high cholesterol foods? Is it worth it? This is a question you need to ask yourself over and over. Is it worth it? Okay, so what other things can we learn about eggs? Check this out.
2 million men in the U.S. are living with prostate cancer. That's better than dying from prostate cancer. Catch it when it's localized, and your 5-year survival is practically guaranteed. But once it really starts spreading, your chances drop to 1 in 3. Thus, identification of modifiable factors that affect the progression of prostate cancer is something that deserves study. So, Harvard researchers took more than 1,000 men with early-stage prostate cancer and followed them for a couple years to see if there's anything in their diet associated with a resurgence of the cancer, such as spread to the bone. Compared to men who hardly ate any eggs, men who ate even less than a single egg a day had a significant 2-fold increase in the risk of prostate cancer progression. Type 2 diabetes is becoming a world pandemic. We know the consumption of eggs is related to the development of some other chronic diseases. What about diabetes? Researchers found a stepwise increase in risk the more and more eggs people ate. Eating just a single egg a week appeared to increase the odds of diabetes by 76%. 2 eggs a week appeared to double the odds, and just a single egg a day triple the odds. 3 times greater risk of type 2 diabetes, one of the leading causes of death and amputations, blindness, and kidney failure.
Okay, so let us look at what we have here. Eggs increase your risk of heart disease, of cancer, of type 2 diabetes. Every time you eat eggs, you put yourself at risk of salmonella poisoning. Is it really worth it to risk your health every time you eat eggs? And some people actually call them chicken Menzies as well, so that's something to think about. So the Egg Board is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, so they basically have endless money to advertise and to basically condition people into thinking eggs are healthy. Like, we've always thought that, haven't we? All these, happy chickens, these ads, happy eggs, all this rubbish that gets into our minds and makes us think, oh yeah, I need to include eggs in my diet, which of course is not true. The good thing is though, the FDA actually has a limit on what they allow the egg industry to say. So I thought this was really valuable, really interesting information from Dr. Greger here. Check this out.
So if I give you a 20, you give me half back, which is
10.
That's right.
You do everything so they're at their best. So start their big days with the incredible protein. Eggs.
The American Egg Board is a promotional marketing board appointed by the U.S. government, whose mission is to increase demand for egg and egg products on behalf of U.S. egg producers. Now, if an individual egg company wants to run an ad campaign, they can say whatever they want. But if an egg corporation wants to dip into the $10 million the American Egg Board sets aside for advertising, because the board is overseen by the federal government, corporations are not allowed to lie with those funds. What a concept. Which leads to quite revealing exchanges between egg corporations that want to use that money and USDA on what egg companies can and cannot say about eggs. Thanks to the Freedom of Information Act, I was able to get my hands on some of those emails. Of course, a lot of what I got looked like this. Please note a number of items about our Salmonella Crisis module. Any questions? Or even better, entire sheets of paper that literally just said this. That was the whole sheet of paper. Our tax dollars hard at work. But check this out. This is some egg company trying to put out a brochure on healthy snacking for kids. But because of existing laws against false and misleading advertising, the head of USDA's Poultry Research and Promotion Programs reminds them that you can't couch eggs or egg products as being healthy or nutritious. See, the words nutritious and healthy carry certain connotations. You know that food is actually good for you. But because eggs have the amount of cholesterol they do, plus all the saturated fat, the words healthy and nutritious are problematic when it comes to eggs. This is the USDA saying this. However, the USDA helpfully suggests you can say eggs are nutrient-dense. Wait a second, why can you say eggs are nutrient-dense but not nutritious? Because there's no legal definition of nutrient-dense. You can say Twinkies and Coca-Cola are nutrient-dense, but legally, you can't say something is nutritious unless it's actually nutritious. So for example, the egg industry wanted to run this ad calling eggs a nutritional powerhouse that aids in weight loss. The USDA had to remind the industry you can't portray eggs as a diet food because of the fat and cholesterol content. In fact, they have nearly twice the calories of anything that can be called low-calorie. Nutritional powerhouse can't be used either. Fine, the industry said, they'll move to Plan B, and headline the ad, Exceptional Nutrition. Nope, because again, given the saturated fat and cholesterol, you can't legally call eggs nutritious. So the ad ended up Find True Satisfaction, and instead of weight loss, they had to go with Can Reduce Hunger. USDA congratulated them on their cleverness. Yes, a food that when eaten can reduce hunger. What a concept.
So you can see how the egg board is trying to pull the banana peel over our eyes. They can't even call eggs safe. That's how unsafe they are.
Instead of safe, you can call eggs fresh, the USDA marketing service helpfully suggests. But you can't call eggs safe. You cannot say eggs are safe to eat, can't say they're safe, can't even mention safety, can't say they're healthful. All references to healthfulness must be deleted as well. Wait a second. Eggs can't really be called healthy? Eggs can't even really be called safe? Says who? Says the United States Department of Agriculture.
So for me, it's obvious that eggs are not human food, they're danger food. But what about the ethical side of things? I know all of you out there care about animals, so you want to line up your ethical beliefs with your purchases, because what we buy with our dollar, we're actually supporting that industry. So I'm sure a lot of you out there are buying like free-range eggs or organic, and you're thinking you're doing the right thing. Let's find out more about that.
When you go to the grocery store and you see free-range eggs, that's another lie. Free-range is not even defined. It has no legal definition whatsoever. I could have 10,000 hens under this podium right now. You know, why would I? But I could. And sell them to you as free-range, and you would spend more of your hard-earned money because you think it's wrong to do it the other way, and I would be taking advantage of you. And I think you should all assume when you buy free-range eggs that you're being totally taken advantage of.
At the Happy Egg Company, we do things differently. We create the perfect environment for our free-range hens to run, jump, and play. Because happy hens lay happy eggs.
Happy eggs, the image, but this is the unhappy reality. Happy eggs are produced by Britain's biggest egg supplier, Noble Foods. It's advertised as high welfare, monitored by the RSPCA Freedom Food Scheme, and sold in most supermarkets. In a joint investigation with animal welfare group Viva, our undercover reporter went on work experience.
The Happy Egg free-range egg is the gold standard in egg production because we address the total welfare of the hen, from the barn she lives in, to the great outdoors where she roams every day, to a specially formulated feed that provides for all of her nutritional needs to keep her healthy and happy.
It's done to keep the food dropping free, but Freedom Food Welfare Regulation FW 1.3 says the use of electrified wire over feeders is not permitted. Happy Eggs ranges should provide areas for foraging and sand pits for dust bathing. RSPCA Regulation R 1.8 specifies areas directly outside the shed should not have muddy conditions or standing water. Even the worker admits things aren't as they should be.
What free-range means at the Happy Egg Farm is 4 expansive acres to be able to run around and play.
And the worker admits in one barn they're infested with the irritant parasite red mite. But our undercover reporter later told me there seemed to be no plan to treat the problem.
What a hellhole. That's why it's so important for us to be aware at where we're putting our dollar, what industry we're supporting with the money that we pay out. So next up is more cruelty. You know, I don't want to share this stuff ever, really. I don't want to share it in videos, but you deserve to know what industry you're supporting, what cruelty you're supporting when you buy certain products. And these are the industries, this is a cruelty that you're supporting when you buy eggs.
The footage you're about to see was recorded with a hidden camera. These workers, called sexers, roughly separate the male chicks from the females. These male chicks are worthless to the industry because they will not lay eggs and will not grow large or fast enough to be raised profitably for meat. These male chicks are killed by being dropped into a grinding machine while still alive. Such killing methods are standard within the industry. Nearly 150,000 male chicks meet their deaths this way each day at the facility. This machine uses a laser to remove part of the chick's beaks. Chicks are placed head first into this rotating machine. Birds' beaks are filled with nerve endings. This procedure can cause both acute and chronic pain. This industrial machine separates newly hatched chicks from their eggshells. Chicks are roughly dumped onto moving conveyor belts, which haul them off to be sorted, debeaked, and for the males, killed. Many chicks are injured and killed by the sorting machine. This chick fell through the sorting machine and was left to die in a heap of eggshells on the factory floor. Still alive, this chick fell through the sorting machine and was sent through a scalding wash cycle.
Wasn't that heartbreaking? I mean, like, if you didn't feel something watching that, then you must not be human, because that was just pure hell for me to watch. They're little babies. They're grinding little babies up in a mince grinder. Like, I don't know, it makes me think the world has gone crazy. Okay, so you need to know that when you buy eggs, you are supporting that. You are throwing baby chicks down into a grinder. There's no way to sugarcoat this, folks. This is the truth of the situation. If you continue to ignore it, you continue to pay for the slaughter of these innocent little creatures who just want to live like we want to live. They want to live a happy life. They want to go a peck around the dirt, in the grass, have a family, and we take that away from them when they're barely alive because we're treating them like products. Because the egg industry is so huge and 220 million eggs consumed every single day. Don't be a part of it anymore. Do your health a favor, do the chickens a favor, do the environment a favor, and get rid of the eggs out of your diet. You know, if you need any more proof as to why to get them out, then I don't know, it's all there. They're obviously not healthy for you. They're obviously not nice. It's a cruel, nasty process that you don't want your dollar supporting. Alright, so I hope that's given you food for thought. I hope that's been really educational. Don't forget to go fruit or root yourself. And I will see you soon. I know I haven't brought another video, I've been only doing one a week and this one's been late, but I'm still bringing the video, so stay tuned. I'm not sure, I'm just still getting into a bit of a routine with it all because these videos are complex and they're quite new to me. So hang around and I will see you soon.
Banana Girl. Go fruit yourself.